But listen carefully, my young friends. Don't tell everyone your plans. Today I want to talk about something important, something that many of you might be doing without even realizing its potential harm. It's the habit of telling everyone your plans. Yes, I'm serious. Many people love to announce every single idea they have, every business plan, every dream to anyone who would listen. Some of you probably do it on social media, right? Hey guys, I'm starting a new business. Wish me luck. Or I'm planning to do this, do that. But listen carefully, my young friends. Don't tell everyone your plans. Today, I'm going to explain why. You see, when I was younger, I made the same mistake. I was so excited about my ideas that I couldn't wait to tell everyone. I would sit down with my friends and we'd talk for hours about what we would do. We would talk about starting companies, changing the world, and becoming billionaires. Oh, how fun it was to dream. But then I noticed something. Every time I talked about my plans, things didn't go as well as I hoped. The reason? Too many opinions. When you tell everyone your plans, what happens? Everyone starts giving you advice. Advice from people who have never done what you're trying to do. Advice from people who are scared of taking risks themselves. Advice from people who, let's be honest, sometimes don't want to see you succeed. It's like inviting 100 chefs into your kitchen to make a single dish. Too many cooks spoil the broth, my friends. Too many voices confuse your direction. And then there's another problem. When you speak too much about your plans, you use up all the excitement in talking, not doing. Think about it. When you tell someone your big idea, they might say, "Wow, that sounds amazing." And for a moment, it feels like you've already succeeded. You feel good. But the problem is that feeling of accomplishment you get from talking replaces the drive you need to actually do it. Instead of spending energy on execution, you spend it on conversation. Instead of working quietly, you're busy seeking validation. My advice? Keep quiet. Let your actions do the talking. Now, some of you might be thinking, "But Jack, what's wrong with sharing my ideas? Shouldn't I ask for feedback? Shouldn't I get advice from people who care about me?" Well, here's where things get tricky. Of course, you should seek guidance, but not from everyone. You see, not all advice is good advice. Let me give you an example. When I started Alibaba, nobody believed in us. People thought I was crazy. An e-commerce business in China? Are you serious? The internet is for Western countries, Jack, not China. I remember one of my teachers telling me, "Jack, maybe you should stick to teaching. Business is too risky." If I had listened to them, if I had shared my full vision with everyone and allowed them to plant doubts in my mind, do you think Alibaba would exist today? Of course not. Sometimes the people closest to you are the ones who unknowingly hold you back. Not because they don't love you, but because they don't see what you see. Your vision is your vision. It's personal. It's unique. They haven't walked in your shoes. They haven't experienced your thoughts, your dreams, your aspirations. So how can they truly understand what you're trying to achieve? That's why I say, don't tell everyone your plans. Not everyone is ready to hear them. Not everyone is ready to believe in you the way you believe in yourself. And most importantly, not everyone is capable of giving you the right kind of advice. It's like planting a seed. You don't pull the seed out every day to show everyone what you're growing. No, you leave it in the soil. You water it, you take care of it. And one day, it becomes a tree. Then, and only then, can people see the results of your hard work. When you're quiet about your plans, something magical happens. You become more focused. You stop worrying about what others think, and you start focusing on the work itself. That's when real progress happens. Let me share a funny story with you. When I first started building Alibaba, there was a lot of noise. Everyone was talking about the dot-com bubble, about how e-commerce would never work in China. I remember attending business meetings and people would say, "Jack, you're wasting your time. Nobody in China wants to buy things online. We prefer to go to the markets, touch the products, bargain for the price." But what did I do? Did I go around arguing with them, trying to convince them they were wrong? No. I kept my mouth shut and worked hard. I kept my vision close to my heart and focused on building something amazing. We were a small team, working day and night, eating instant noodles, sleeping in the office. We didn't have time to talk. We were too busy working. And guess what? When Alibaba finally took off, everyone was shocked. How did this happen? they asked, and I smiled. I told you so, I thought. But I didn't say it out loud, of course. That's the beauty of quiet execution. You surprise people with results, not words. Now let's talk about something else, jealousy. This is a hard truth, but not everyone will be happy for you when you succeed. In fact, some people will be envious. They might smile to your face, but deep down, they don't want you to win. And you know what? When you tell these kinds of people your plans, they can sabotage you, sometimes without even realizing it. I'm sure many of you have experienced this. You tell someone your dream, and instead of supporting you, they say things like, "Are you sure? That sounds risky," or "Do you think you're really capable of doing that?" Their doubts start to creep into your mind. You begin questioning yourself, and before you know it, you've lost confidence in your own ability. That's what jealousy does. It's subtle, it's sneaky, and it can destroy your dreams before they even start. So what's the solution? Simple. Don't give people the opportunity to be jealous. Keep your plans to yourself. Let them find out about your success when it's too late to stop you. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you should never tell anyone your plans. Of course, there are times when you need advice, when you need feedback, when you need to bounce ideas off someone else. But here's the key. Be selective. Don't share your plans with people who don't understand your vision. Don't share them with people who are negative or pessimistic. Instead, find a small group of trusted individuals, people who believe in you, people who have experience, people who can offer constructive criticism. In my case, I had a few close friends and mentors who supported me during the early days of Alibaba. They didn't always understand what I was doing, but they believed in my ability to figure it out. They encouraged me to keep going, even when things got tough. And let me tell you, things got really tough. There were times when we had no money, no resources, no hope. But because I surrounded myself with the right people, I was able to push through the challenges. I didn't need 100 opinions, I just needed a few good ones. Let's address another issue, fear. Sometimes we tell everyone our plans because we're afraid. Afraid of failing, afraid of looking foolish, afraid of making mistakes. We think that by telling others, we're somehow protecting ourselves. We think that if we announce our plans to the world, we'll be held accountable and therefore more likely to succeed. But here's the truth, fear is a terrible motivator. If you're making decisions out of fear, you're not thinking clearly. You're not acting from a place of confidence. Instead, you're letting other people's opinions control your actions. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Failure is part of the journey. In fact, it's essential. When I started Alibaba, I failed many times. I made so many mistakes that I lost count, but I didn't give up. I didn't let fear stop me from moving forward. And you shouldn't either. If you keep your plans to yourself, you eliminate the fear of judgment. You allow yourself the freedom to experiment, to fail, to learn without the pressure of outside opinions. And in doing so, you give yourself the best chance of success. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, nobody cares about your plans. They care about your results. You can talk all day long about what you're going to do, but if you don't deliver, it's meaningless. That's why I always say, let success speak for itself. When Alibaba became successful, people were shocked. They couldn't believe that this small team of underdogs had built one of the largest e-commerce companies in the world. But by then, it was too late for them to criticize or doubt us. The results spoke for themselves. And that's the point I want to make today. If you keep your plans to yourself, you protect your vision. You shield it from negativity, doubt, and jealousy. You give yourself the time and space to focus on what really matters, execution. When you finally achieve your goals, people will see the results. They won't need an explanation. They won't need to hear about all the plans you made. They'll see the success with their own eyes. And that's when you'll know you made the right decision by keeping quiet. So, my young friends, as you embark on your journeys, remember this. Silence is your superpower. Don't waste time telling everyone your plans. Don't seek validation from people who don't understand your vision. Don't let fear drive your decisions. Instead, focus on the work. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Let your success surprise those who doubted you. And most importantly, trust yourself. You have everything you need to succeed. You just need to stay focused, stay quiet, and keep pushing forward. One day, when you've achieved your dreams, people will ask you how you did it. And you'll smile because you'll know that the secret to your success was simple. You kept your plans to yourself. Thank you.